nerede? Ne arıyorsun? Giant sopalar üstünde.
Selam Teoman.
Merhaba.
Selam.
İlk ben katıldım herhalde.
Evet. Bugün senin sınavın var mıydı?
Benim sınavım ne zaman? Pazar günü var. Evet.
Arkadaşlarım bugün sınavı vardı. O yüzden bugün akşam 6'dan 8.30'a aldık dersi. Onların sınavı 7 gibiydi.
Benim yok.
Bizim çakma sınavımız 8'den 12'ye kadar olmuştu. Haber
8,
vermedim.
8'den
Evet.
2'ye kadar mı olmuş?
Akşam 8'den 12'ye. De hani not verilen sınav değil. Örnek sınav sadece.
Peki insanlar onu çözüyor mu şu anda?
Büyük ihtimalle. Emin değilim.
Olmazsa dersi erteleyelim yani. Çünkü ama kimse de haber vermiyor ya böyle şeyde de. Senin de var mı öyle bir sınavın? Bir de mecburen o aralıkta mı olmak zorundasınız yani? Örnek sınav ama şey
Hı
yapalım.
hı. Bir saniye bakayım istiyorsanız.
Tamam bir kontrol edelim ama.
Ne sınavıydı acaba?
Kalkülüs.
Benim yok.
6'da gönderilmiş 75 dakika diyor. Bir saniye bakayım kaçtan kaça.
Öyleyse güzel. Öyleyse bitmiş olması lazım ama. Mesela Eylül
7 ile 12 arası.
7 ile 12 arası.
Zaman limitimiz o.
Tam
12'de bitiyor.
yani insanlar 7'de başlamış olsa şimdiye kadar bitirirlerdi. Dersin saati de belli. Okey. Kimseye bir şey demeden o zaman yapalım abi ders. Bakalım. Ceyhun selam. Ceyhun duyabiliyor musun? Biz seni duyamıyoruz. Siz beni duyabiliyor musunuz arkadaşlar?
Evet.
Evet, duyuyoruz.
Ceyhun bağlandı ama iletişime geçemek. Herhalde bir iki kişi daha gelir diye düşünüyorum. Bu Işık notlandırılan bir sınav değil dedin. Ha.
Yarın bir sınav daha olacak. Bu onun hani sample exam gibi bir şey. Aynen.
Okey. Güzel. Yarına hazırlık için millet ona katılıyor diyorsun yani.
Hı hı.
Sen çözdün mü Işık? Nasıldı?
Hayır daha girmedim.
Okey. Sen girebilirsin ya. Biz bitiririz yani 12'de önce. Geçmiş olsun Ceyhun. Okay, we can start with the lecture then. By the way, we still need to continue in English because there are foreign students listening later. So this is why. And also for new coming students, do you know the dates and
Oh, teacher, I'm sorry. That was a message I received yesterday. Sorry. So the exam is today at 7.
okay. then I believe people are almost finished, or they will probably join, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. Yeah, so for newcoming students, I don't know how you see in your system, but in your student system, I mean, but we will have our lectures on Thursdays and Saturdays each week, and we will start at 6:30 in the evening on Thursdays, and in 12 o'clock at Saturdays. So just keep it in mind. And importantly, we will have a guest teacher this Saturday. So make sure you join. He has more than 10 years of experience in game company management. He's the manager of a company for more than 10 years, and he has great experience in various fields such as music composing, poker theory. Game. Ishik, you were interested uh, about game theory. Uh, I I mean, he won't be talking about game theory on Saturday, unfortunately, but still, it's a good opportunity to know him. I believe, and yeah, I expect you to be there. And if I'm not sure about that, but if I can, we will also have another guest next week, Thursday. If they agree, one or two uh, people that I know will join, and they will talk about marketing and advertisements in general. So they will talk about how to sell out your game, or how to get new customers, etc.
Did we have a guest last week?
No, we have not. We will start this week, basically. Okay. And I believe before we start, since there's no one else here, I would like to know Teoman and Ceyhun better. So, are you also students from MIS, Management?
Yes, we both.
Okay. So, do you know each other?
Yes.
Okay. And you are first class, first
Yes.
year students. Okay. And what do you expect to learn from this course, or were you able to watch the videos?
Uh, Actually, I have no idea because my first time joining the lessons.
Okay, then I suggest you to watch my videos in YouTube,
Okay.
lecture videos, I mean, and uh, we have around 5 to 6 hours of uh, lecture each week, and this is a mandatory lecture for game development, sorry, game digital game design students, and because of that, I will I will be like I have to request some things that are a bit hard for an elective course. For you, this course is an elective, but unfortunately, you will be under some big responsibilities sometimes. I will try to be merciful, and um, unfortunately, I sent most of my important messages and announcements to the WhatsApp group, and I will try to resend all of those to you again. but if I miss something, make sure to ask your fellow students, so especially the students that were already in the WhatsApp group, so you don't miss out anything. Shortly, we will have our first assignment. I believe it will be presented to me by the end of November. So you will have 2 or maybe 3 weeks, and um, to basically you will write a report about a game design. You will write a high-level game design document, and if you watch last 3 weeks lectures, you will have an idea about how to fill the required fields in that report. Okay, that's what I wanted to say, and I believe we can start with this topic, and we will be talking about budget management today. Okay. I assume you are able to see the presentation, right?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see.
Okay. And first of all, why do we need to budget our game? What do you think? Since we have only 3 students now, I expect some precedence and participation. By budgeting, I mean planning out how much money you will be spending until finishing and until selling your game. So why do you think we need such a plan?
To cut the unnecessary costs and have a solid number in our heads.
Yeah, um, this is one reason, but what do you like? Can you think about other shareholders, such as investors, maybe? What comes up to your mind? What do I, especially for MIS students, as an investor, what should I be expecting from a software business plan? What do you think, Teoman? Okay, I would say that as an investor, I probably would have liked to see a, a, nice detailed budget plan and a detailed time plan, so that I can decide before investing about how much money I will be spending and how much time will I continue to spend this money, and in return how much money will I get back. So I need to basically calculate my return of investment, ROI. ROI means in how much time will I get back my investment. In Turkish, it's amortisman zamanı or something like that. Amorti etme zamanı. And if I have a number like this, then I can compare this number with other investments, even with different investments in different sectors, such as real estate investments, etc. And I can more easily decide on investing, and because of that, we can have an easier deal with game producer, and if anything bad happens, then we can, I mean, if anything that is out of the plan happens, then we can also manage to solve this problem by talking and basically, since we have an agreement, sort of, we can be more approachable and more empathetical towards each other. Okay. So one reason we have is we have our budget plan is for investors, but this is not the only reason. Even if we don't have any investors, we need to have a budget plan for our own if we are going to spend our money in it. And the main benefits of having a budget plan is you can decide before spending. So if it's out of your budget, then you need to basically change your game idea, or change it according to the, or modify it according to the budgets you have available. And what else? If you have a spot on budgets, I believe you will have a more I don't know, you will be seen as more reliable when you're talking with investors or other game producers, maybe. And they will be, you will be taken seriously as a game producer, since you took time to plan beforehand, and you had a realistic plan beforehand. These are the things I would like to say about the importance of budgeting and what not to do. I saw a funny video about budget plan. It's not directly game development related, but still it's a good
So with this level
good thing to watch.
of high power,
Sorry,
so with this level,
I believe it's a good thing to avoid, or a bad thing to avoid, maybe I should say. So let's watch it.
so with this level of high power laser array, we would actually be able to solve the black hole information paradox once and for all.
That's impressive. And how much funding were you looking for?
$20 million.
Really? You think you can build that for $20 million?
Not a chance.
I'm sorry, then why are you asking me for it?
Because once you've spent $20 million, you're much more likely to give me an additional 50.
So actually what you're saying is with $70 million, you can build this.
I can see why you'd think that, but no. You can't go to the board of trustees and say you gave Sheldon Cooper $70 million and have nothing to show for it. Now, the only way you'd be able to save face is to double down.
So 140.
And then double again.
280?
And then, good news, not quite, double again. So, what do you say? We have a deal?
He said no?
No, that's only a 2-letter word. You're gonna have to double down.
Yeah, okay, so this is what you should avoid. Basically, you don't want to be seen as a enthusiastic, optimistic, dreamy guy. You will be taken, you should want to be taken as seriously as possible as a game producer, or basically someone with a game idea. So investors, even if you have a Kickstarter campaign, you need to have a realistic expectation for an investment. And if your investment is highly below the realistical medium or highly above the realistical medium, then you will have a hard time getting the investments, basically. Okay, before we have a before we jump into the actual numbers, I want to talk about the expenses, basically different kinds of expenses. So I didn't add a slide, but the biggest expense we have is salaries, okay? And since since digital game development is a software process, and since it is a software, since you will need to have a software company, basically, you will, I mean, your biggest expense will be the people who are working for you. I mean, the salaries of them will be your biggest expense. And when you are planning out your budgets, I advise you to estimate your salary requirements as high as possible, if you can, so that you are planning to hire the best guys available, and so that you are able to compete with the existing market if possible. And a great team basically corrects your mistakes on the road, or even before you start on the road, and they can add so many different ideas to your core game idea, and they can help you brainstorm, and also they can help you take a direction towards a different path if need be. And also, if you estimate your salaries high, like I said, when the inflation rate goes up, and when other software companies are paying like I don't know, 50% raises or something like that, you will not lose your employees, basically. And losing employees are really hard especially in a I don't know, game development team, because of two reasons. One of the reasons is you probably will have a small team if you are if you are living in Turkey. Generally, if you start a game company, you will not have more than 5 developers working for you. And because of that, if you lose one or two of them during the process, it will be really hard for you to how can I say, reduce the know-how that you lose. You know, you will not be able to easily make up for that loss of know-how. Okay, this is the first point. And the second point I would like to make is since game development takes around 2 years or something like that on average. Of course, it can take from 2 to 3 months to 4 to 5 years, but on average it will be around 2 years. And if you cannot keep your developers for 2 years, then you will have a hard time employing new new developers or new team members, and you will need to spend resources to get them on your level so they can start working with you. So they need to be like, every newcomer needs to be on the same page, and this can be sometimes hard to do. Okay. Another expense that you need to keep in mind, but often overlooked, is guerrilla marketing. So, sorry, not guerrilla marketing, but marketing in general. After you finish your game, you will be required to sell your game, and even if your game is free to play, you will need to sell your items or some extra DLCs perhaps to make money. Or even if you are not selling DLCs or items in your game, you may need to, I mean, if you are having, if you have created a game for, I don't know, patients or for military perhaps, then you will need to sell your game to the governments or to big companies. And because of those necessities, you will need to have a marketing strategy, first of all. And there are some strategies that can work to reduce the cost of marketing. And first of them is guerrilla marketing. So guerrilla marketing is marketing by non-conventional ways. And I have a list of guerrilla marketing successes. So I want to show some examples of that. Those are not directly for game development, but still I believe there are good sources for inspiration. So there's graffiti, and there's reverse graffiti, where you don't vandalize other people's walls, but you are cleaning some dust so that your logo will show up. Or some companies may stick with stickers. Or there's also a strategy called undercover marketing or stealth marketing, and sometimes this could be beneficial for a game. This one example comes from Sony, in which actors were hired to wander about cities, asking strangers to take photo of them. During the interaction, actors would rave of their cool new phone, boasting of its features and capabilities. If we take this as an example, you may try joining to events, and you may try talking about your game from a player's standpoint, so that other people will be inclined to try out your game. And you can even hire people to give good rates or good social media presence, so that people will start talking about your game. And with this new trend topic, people will be more and more curious about how your game plays out. But you, of course, need to be really careful, because there are examples of cases when people, game companies, paid for paid to game media for good reviews, and after the points they have received, I mean after the points above 90 or something like that, people were really inspired to buy the game. But after seeing the bugs uh, in the game, they hated the game and they hated the company too. So this uh, this resulted in a scandal, and people basically lost their trust on the company. Yeah. So this is an extreme case you should avoid. And okay, you may use flash mobs to increase traffic to your websites or to your game in general. So flash mobs involve organizing a group of individuals to perform a specific action or task at a predetermined location and time. This resembles game conventions or events in universities. In some cases, participants are hired actors. Other times, they are simply members of the community who enjoy the randomness of flash mobs. Other actions that you may take includes public stunts. They involve specific feats of awe and amazements, usually sponsored or in partner with a brand. Red Bull is a very adept at this practice. Yeah, if you look for the things that Red Bull company is supporting, you will see Red Bull wants to make itself associated with youth, sports, and enjoyment, basically. So they are sponsoring sport events, and I believe this is a great marketing strategy. And you may a similar concept can be seen if you look at Blizzard's events. So Blizzard is talking to convention convention event hosts. So sometimes Blizzard sponsors some tournaments in those convention events, and they basically make their brands sound. Okay, another classical concept is treasure hunts, where you make people look for the small treasures that you hide it. And those can be your logos, or maybe you can give out your game as a, like you can give out a free copy of your game so that your game will be seen as a reward and something of a high value. And successful guerrilla marketing strategy is making great use of the spaces around them. Okay, so they appear in the form of viral videos. I think this is a great concept to try, and this is a relatively cheap approach. For I will give an example later. User generated content competitions, and yeah, this goes something like this. So you basically have a game like Dota, okay, and you ask your players to compete in an event like a dressing contest. So people choose a character from your game and dress like that character, and then voters vote for the best dressing actor, and then like this results in an increased user or player count. And another example is video competitions, short movie competitions that um, Valve as a company uses. So again, the example will be from Dota 2. Players create small animations, and they are really fun in general, and they compete with each other, and best videos are released publicly, and this they get awarded, so they can I don't know, they can get back some money that they have spent.
Yeah, I watched most of them. I really
Yeah.
love Dota 2.
Especially it's one of my favorites also. And I mean, these are these are not the things that Gaben thinks by himself. These are the things that is a result of a good marketing team. Another thing that comes up to my mind is OpenAI. OpenAI is not
Yeah.
a specialized software for Dota actually, but I believe it was a company of Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so using another popular tool for a marketing strategy is a great idea as well. You are creating contents for Dota, and you are creating some advertisement for your company. So after they created an AI, artificial intelligence, they adapted this artificial intelligence software for playing Dota, and they made it so that best players of Dota
Right.
will be competing against OpenAI, and OpenAI basically beats them hard, and this shows how good OpenAI is. Another thing that pops out of my mind is KUKA robots. They basically had an animation advertisement in which the best table tennis player plays table tennis against one of the KUKA robots, and KUKA robots somehow manages to beat the best table tennis player in the world, and then this basically represents quality for the um, uh, robots factory named KUKA. Okay, so we have talked too much. I will be giving a 10 minutes break, and after that, I will send you a new link. Okay.
Sure.